You guys, I had an emotional epiphany the other day. I'm being totally serious about this, right? Serious break for a second. So, do you remember a couple of days ago, I told you when we were at the Bert's Big Adventure reunion, I just felt like I was on the brink of tears the entire time? Mm-hmm. You guys remember me telling you that? Yeah. We're at the reunion and, we've done these reunions for Bert's Big Adventure. And if you're new around here, that's the trip that we take down to Disney World every year with kids that have chronic and terminal illnesses. But above that, we have these reunion parties where we get all these families together because what we've learned over the years is what they really want is community. They want that trip down to Disney World, that's for sure. But they really want this community because when you're in a special needs family, sometimes you just feel like you're on the outside looking in. And they have formed such deep bonds that we get them all together. We've done this now for 22 years? 22 years of reunions or whatever. So, but on this particular one the other day, it seemed to me like every time I hugged a kid or I heard a success story from one of our kids who has now decided that she's going to be graduating in a couple of years and she's going to be an interior designer and now she's 21 or whatever, 19. And when she went on the trip, she was like 6 years old and I've watched her grow up. I'm like, I was on the brink of tears, right? Or we have another kid that just rang the bell because it appears that the cancer is gone. And she did it holistically, about 50% of it holistically. And I was looking at her and I was talking to her dad about it. And I'm getting all emotional, like tight in the chest about it, just on the brink of tears. Now, I've heard these stories for 22 something years, so I don't know why this was any different, right? And there have been some other instances the last couple of weeks also, which, would be normally emotional, circumstances in life, but not ones that would really affect me emotionally the way they have the last couple of weeks. I told you guys that on Easter Sunday, my kids were with their mom, Stacy, and they took a picture on a piece of driftwood. And that was kind of traditionally the same picture that we took on Easter Sundays. And I wasn't in it. Stacy was in it and her new man, Joe, who's a great guy. Got no beef at all with that guy. But just the nostalgia of it. And I was so kind of just emotional about that. I'm not the guy there.
Do you feel like you're more emotionally fragile right now or just more emotionally sensitive?
Well, I'm going to have you guys can debate that. But it's been time and time again, like when I was prom tuck shopping with Hollis. This is his last one. And of course, it's going to be a little on the emotional side. But I'm getting the feels tenfold. And I have not been able to figure out why until the other day. The effexor is finally out of my body.
Oh, so you're feeling things more intensely.
Yep. So if you're new to the show, I've been on effexor now for 20 years, which in the smallest amount, but it just takes the edge off of the day. And I've been weaning off of it now for a couple of weeks. And I've had some really great advice from my doctors, but I think now I'm experiencing these things on such a deep level because the effexor does block some stuff, man. It just really does. It's really nice to it doesn't get you nearly as stressed out. And I got on it 20 years ago when we started this show. And I was just every morning I was waking up as a ball of tension thinking, this is going to fail and I'm never going to be able to be in radio ever again, and have myself so worked up about it that the doctor's woo! Dude, you need something. So he put me on the effexor and I just never increased it and never got off it, but it did enough to numb me. And I am realizing over the last week that this is what people feel.
Are you embracing it or is it a little bit too much?
It's not that it's too much. There's a toxic masculinity part of this with my dad, men don't cry. It happened again last night too, man, at the sports banquet I was telling you guys about. So my son Hollis won the award last night for most inspirational player. He's the team captain and he's the one that keeps the team flowing, even though he had a great statistics season. It was more of a motivational one. That was the award. It's even better than the MVP for me because, you're going to score goals, you're going to get assists. But as far as life goes, being a leader and being able to rally kids, that's the award he won last night. And I'm tearing up and I'm starting to cry. And Amanda goes to me, "Are you crying?" I'm no. No, I'm not.
Yes, you should.
Allergies. Yeah, man.
No, you should. I mean, it's one. Yeah, talent is beautiful, but quality of character,
man. And I felt
that's a beautiful thing.
Dude, as I'm telling you the story,
cry now.
I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to feel it, right?
Yeah.
So your question was, am I afraid of it?
Yeah.
It's really new. And I guess anybody that's on these needs to know that. Yeah, I guess it's just, I don't know if I'm warning people because it's a bad thing or a good thing, but I just don't realize how numb I was to things over the course of the last 20 years.
Is it making you regret having been on it so long?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No. No, for you guys, it was good.
Yeah.
But there are other things that are coming along with it also. Like I am really trying to figure out what am I really like when I'm not on this stuff? And I have felt like my fuse has been shorter over the last week. I find myself a little bit angrier over things that I normally wouldn't get angry about. And I don't know if this is just a withdrawal process or am I just kind of an a-hole? And if I'm kind of an a-hole, then I got to get back on something or I got to figure out how to deal with it. So I'm still in kind of a confused part of the whole thing.
Are you feeling things deeper as a whole? Like, are the happier moments just as happy, or did you just find that Effexor was blocking more of those negative emotions and that's what you're feeling?
What a really good question. I'm feeling most of the positive things, like my relationship with Amanda and the things that I see in her is just so much deeper now. The appreciation that I have for her, and I'm just it's the deepest connection that I have ever had in a relationship. I think it's her, but I also think it's the stage of life I'm in, but it's also that I don't have these chemicals in me now that are allowing me to do that, you know?
I can't speak to Effexor, but it's funny because I was just having this conversation with my family the other day. And for me, I just think it's getting older, one, and I think it's my lady being in my life too. But I have been like a whole different person in recent times. I've been a lot more empathetic towards things. I've felt things deeper. I'm crying during movies, like things I never did when I was younger. But I just kind of see life as brighter now. And I just thought it was because I was getting older.
Yeah, and I think that does happen as you get older also. Like, I really dig hanging out with like 80-year-olds and stuff like that because they do have a deep appreciation and they just love every experience of life on a deeper level and they can communicate it. And I think it is because they're older.
Yeah, I think as you get older, you just appreciate things a lot more than you knew how to when you were younger, and you feel things deeper. I even, like my sister the other day, I was watching her get so happy at the success of her artwork and seeing people just like admire her and her work. And I was sitting there tearing up. Like, what am I going through?
Yeah.
Like, why, but things like that. Yeah, I'm tearing up now.
You know who scared me more than anything else on this whole journey is I don't want to turn into Katy Perry. Is like how feels everything and it's on such a different level and we all love. I feel so much love. I don't want to be that.
No, homegirl took a Valium before she went up into space. That was the drugs talking.
For sure.
The Bert Show.